Playing for keeps. Story is Gerard Butler is a former sports star, now estranged from his wife and the mother of his child, relocates to an American small town in order to be nearer to his ex-wife and small child. Former wife now living with a new partner who seems really nice, really supportive, looks after the kid, loves her, is really nice, is made up by the film to look like a total stooge. You know, he's really, really nice, but guess what? He's not Gerard Butler. Meanwhile, his biggest crime is that he might be a bit boring. Gerard Butler, however, is the talk of the town. All the women want to be with him, and the women are Catherine Zeta-Jones, Judy Greer, Uma Thurman, glamorous women. But the minute they set their eyes on Gerard Butler, oh, that's it. They're falling over themselves to be with him. The local men all want to be him. Spectacularly, Dennis Quaid, who's this kind of businessman who's desperate to get Gerard to be his friend. Meanwhile, all the kids want him to teach them how to play football. Here's a clip.
All right, now I want you to be killers. When you go out, use the field. I want you to talk to each other. I want you to pass the ball to each other. And remember, you can't score if you don't shoot. Ready for that?
Yeah!
Come round, come in. Okay, hands up. 1, 2, 3, go Cyclones! So, see, the idea is that we all do it together. Okay, so 1, 3, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, go Cyclones!
Now, the fact of the matter is that Gerard Butler's back catalogue is so, what's the word, patchy, that it would be very easy to go into a Gerard Butler film, you know, being prejudiced against it. And I should say that in the case of this film, I had an exciting experience attempting to see it. I was trying to catch it before Christmas so that we could review it on the show now, because obviously it's out now. And no names, no pack drills. The people who were in charge of showing the movie didn't seem overly keen for me to go. For some reason.
Why would that be?
I've got no idea. It looked very likely that the only screening that I could get to was full. No space. Absolutely full. So after some prodding and more prodding, I found myself into the screening, from which I was full, to find me and 5 other people there. Not only was the screening not full, it was, I have to say, and even in the emptiness, you would think there would be some laughing, there would be some joining in. None at all. And the reason why is this. Even by Gerard Butler's patchy back catalogue standards, this is the most self-aggrandising thing I have seen in living memory. I mean, Butler takes a production credit as well. And of course you would say, so here's the role, Gerard. Basically, you're incredibly hunky. All these fantastically glamorous women want to be with you. This bloke, Dennis Quaid, wants to be you. And all these kids absolutely love you. And the arc of the movie is that at the beginning of it, you're a bit boyish and a bit rebellious and a bit of a tearaway. During the course of the movie, you're going to learn to be a little bit more responsible and a little bit more grown up. But you know what? At the beginning, when you're not meant to be a very good father, your kid's still going to love you anyway. And all the other kids are going to love you anyway. And so the arc of the movie is you go from being absolutely irresistible to everybody, except your ex-wife, to absolutely irresistible to everybody. And do you think there's any possibility that you might overcome that? So I'm sitting there watching it, and I go, and the film is literally making you, it's saying to you, look, now at the moment, you know, Jessica Biel, she's now with this other bloke, and he's a bit boring, and he's very he picks people up from the school at the right time, and he does things at the right, and he doesn't go out and, you know, party and all that stuff. Don't like him, no, he's very bad man over there. I'm doing Eddie Izzard, very bad man over there. Over here, mullety-haired, loud, shouty person running around on the football pitch, being a little bit rebellious. Like him, support, go for him. He's the person. There's a scene in the film in which Gerard Butler's character comes back home and finds Uma Thurman in his bed, in her scanties, desperate for Gerard to come and make the night something special. And all I could think of was, do you remember that Derek and Clive sketch? I was at home and Bridget Bardot was there in a shorty nightie. I said, Bridget, get out. The film is at that level. It's like, did you never sit down and go, hang on a minute? So the story, and I mean, the word misogyny doesn't begin to cover the naffness of the portrayal of all female characters. I mean, it has this kind of idea that all middle-aged women, housewives, cougars, all of them would just literally do anything.
Cougars?
Cougars, that's the word that's now being used, apparently. It's
For what? Who's a cougar?
Predatory housewife. I mean, I do see the film, and see Catherine Zeta-Jones as the character who just would...
Is she a cougar?
I believe that would be the vernacular, Simon. It's not a term that I would like to use.
So I was using it in Desperate Housewife.
I haven't seen Desperate Housewife. I hear
no,
that's quite good.
But Desperate Housewife who's after a toy boy kind of. Is that
who's after Gerard Butler? He's not a toy boy. He is, as far as we can tell, he's everything. He's all things to all people. As they say in the Goon Show, it must be hell in there. He's literally, there's nobody in the film who doesn't fall in love with him. So you go, okay, Gerard, we got a film for you. And what do I play in it? Oh, you play everything. You play all things to all men and women. Do you want to do it? Yeah, be fine. What do I have to do? You have to kick a ball around a field. You have to attempt to stave off the attentions of a string of unbelievably glamorous women, all of whom are in love with you. You have to be fabulous with kids, but you have to be a little bit reckless, but just for a little. And I mean, honestly, you just sit there going, you know, there's that thing that American actors won't do roles in which they are seen as bad. I mean, there's this long story about why is it that you get British actors to play villains or historical characters. Like, for example, this was on the radio recently. It was a very good program presented by Mark Lawson. Why is it that you end up having Sir Anthony Hopkins doing Nixon? The answer is because American actors don't want to do that because they think that people would go, oh, he looks a bit shifty. I don't like him anymore. Gerard Butler, it's like he said, I want to play characters in which I'm Brill.
Even, can I just mention at this point, in cartoon form, the baddie in Rise of the Guardians, nice grumble from your stomach
Stop
again
it.
there. This is unbelievable. I think that was more Piccadilly line, by the way. They can't even have an American to play Jack Frost. It had to be Jude Law being extremely English.
That's what we do, right? Gerard Butler, you know, Scottish, proud. Don't fall into the... Anyway, awful. All the time, I kept thinking, stay away from him and stay with the nice guy. He's really nice. He's really nice.
He picks your kids up on time.
He picks your kids up on time and he's nice. And he hasn't got a stupid haircut. And he wasn't in that stupid movie with Jennifer Aniston either.
So a stupid haircut is automatically a disqualification.
I'll tell you, I was lucky to have got a seat in that screening.
You sure it wasn't just because you were feeling so grumpy that you thought the very last thing I'm going to do...
In the interest of editorial, whatever it is, I'm fessing up that I wasn't in the best possible mood when I went in. But believe me, by the time I came out, I would have sat and watched Keith Lemon the movie and slammed my face with the car door.